You know that I am a huge Natasha Denona fan, so I am going to unbox 3 of the Natasha Denona palettes that were released this year that will complete my Natasha Denona Midi collection. So I have the I Need a Warm palette, the Golden palette, and the Roxa palette. Let's unbox. So all of the Natasha Denona palettes that I have been buying recently are boxed like this and quite protected, so that is really good. This one is the I Need a Nude palette, and you can easily lift the box from there, and then it has extra protection like this, and then it reveals the palette inside. So this I Need a Warm is the next in line from the I Need a Nude palette, and I love warm palettes since I have quite olive undertone, and this I know would fit me so well. So that's the box, and then this are the eyeshadows that we can expect from inside it, and it has some creamy mattes and duochrome, so on and so forth. So easy to unbox the main box. Also, there's this slit already here where you can easily lift it and then slide, and then there it is, the beautiful packaging. So this packaging initially came out with the retro glam palette, if I am not mistaken. Very nice design. And at the back, of course, there are some holes wherein we can poke it and then rearrange the palettes, because these are all magnetic palettes. So here's also an indication right here of which palette it is. I Need a Warm sticker. And yeah, this really nice design. And I noticed that this is actually quite thicker than the other palettes of the Natasha Denona because of this extra part right here. Very beautiful design. I love it so much. And when we open it, it has a mirror. So you just need to remove this protection, or the one that protects the mirror over here. Easy to remove like so. I do not normally use their mirror, so I just keep it like that. Yes. So that's the beautiful I Need a Warm palette, and we are going to do some comparisons later on. Next to unbox is this Golden palette, inspired by the original Gold palette, which is the bigger palettes that Natasha Denona have released many, many moons ago. So again, the packaging goes like this. It's actually like that, like covered like that, and then there you go. Reveals the beautiful golden box. This box is more reflective than the other boxes. And then here are the colors that we can expect. It's always at the back, so I always keep the boxes so I have all those information. But we can always check it out on Natasha Denona websites anyway, and also on the other websites that sells Natasha Denona products. So here it is. Oh my goodness, that is so reflective. And look at that, it's so wavy. That is so wavy. All right. And that's how it looks at the back. With the Natasha Denona Golden Palette sticker over there. What else do we see here? 24 months, made in Italy, not tested on animals, paraben free, and so on. So that's the Golden Palette. And this is how it looks like when we open it. Wow. You know what? Initially, what I thought of is that the I Need a Warm palette and the Golden palette could be complementing each other. Let me see if I am correct. Okay, well, this obviously is much more warm neutrals. And then this has like, yeah, the gold shades, but still the mattes are neutrals. So that is how it looks. I think they could really complement each other, just that the metallics here are more of like a cooler tone with those pinks. Just a little bit more champagne color on the metallics here, and here we have several golds and some deeper shimmer colors. Yeah, that is how the golden palette looks like, and we're going to compare it later on with the original gold palette. And lastly, the third palette here, and the last one for the Natasha Denona Midi palettes that I am going to unbox is this Roxa palette, which is the holiday 2024 release. And I think this is a follow-up from the Lila palette because it's more of a purple or violet leaning palette. Well, let's check it out. And that is how it looks. Look at that. Also a very reflective box, similar to this one. Or yeah, the golden palette is more reflective, but yeah, that is the Roxa palette box. And of course the colors are indicated over here at the back together with all of the ingredients right here. So all of these Natasha Denona Midi palettes are made in Italy. This is still the easy grip here to open. And then we slide that Roxa palette. Oh my goodness, look at that. This design is exactly the same as the one from the gold palette, and they just have different colors. So this Roxa palette does not have just one purple color. It looks like it is somewhat of a it's a pinch holographic in there, or probably this is giving that illusion. These dents over here are embossed, and yeah, very cool design on the cover. This is how it looks at the back. Can still poke it. Magnetic palette, really nice. You know what? It's different. So the front is like very slippery, and then the back is a matte. Cool. That is so cool. Is it the same for the golden palette? No, the golden palette is just same all over. Wow, that Roxa palette is really a cool case. Alright, this is how it looks on the inside. And immediately my eyes are drawn to this one, Bolt. That Bolt palette is one of those newer formula. The code is SF. Oh, we also have some KMs here. A lot of the KMs. I wonder what those are, but yeah. So that is how it looks. It really looks so pretty. Wow. Very different from the 𝒮𝑉𝑒. 𝒮𝑉𝑒 has those very different matte colors, but we will check it out also and compare them side by side. Let me grab the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette once again. So here it is, and these are the palettes that I was talking about earlier. So of course, I am bringing in the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette because the I Need a Warm is like the successor or a complementary palette for the I Need a Nude palette. And then I mentioned that the designs are so similar to this first one right here, which is the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. Look at that. They look so beautiful together. And I do not understand why nobody's really talking about this three. Like, they're a set. So nice. I love this packaging. This is my favorite packagings for Natasha Denona. I am an artist. Well, I studied makeup artistry, but that is not my focus. I am now a painter, and even though I do not really paint so much abstracts, I highly appreciate this work of art on these covers right here. All right, so let's open the Retro Glam. Actually, my goodness, this is just so beautiful. It reminds me so much of a palette cover that is perfect for spring. And the colors are so lovely. Reminds me of spring also. And this is a newer palette that I have because in the beginning, I am so crazy with Natasha Denona, and I have backups. Like I mostly buy two because I feel like maybe it will be discontinued or the price will be higher in the future. So I always wanted to have a backup. But the good me have already decluttered a lot of my backups. There are still some that I still have two of the same palettes. But yeah, this is a new one that I have. And then this is the I Need a Warm palette over here. And the I Need a Nude palette right there. Seriously, this three really looks so beautiful all together. So if you are the type of person who don't really wear so much color and just wants just the more neutrals, natural colors, or with a little bit of pop of greens, and that is how you do your makeup, then you are going to be good with just these three. They are really stunning. I love it. But there's a quite significant difference between the I Need a Nude and I Need a Warm palette. Of course, this is more lighter on the tones, except for this deeper shade over here and these two deeper shimmers right here. And then this really leans warm from all of the mattes and all of the shimmers also. So I'm gonna say goodbye to her for now. I cannot wait to play with that once again. And then this is also fairly new. I haven't played with that. And we go back to her. So I also wanted to compare it with something that people usually think that it could be comparable with, and that will be the Natasha Denona bronze. So here you go. I need a warm palette on the left and a bronze palette on the right. They are going to be complementary palettes also. I do not see anything that is exactly the same color over here. And if you ask me if you can just get away with one, it will be depending on how you want your warm palette to be. So this now compared to this is like, that's really deeper. I just wanted to grab this one so we fully understand what I mean. So you see that this is lighter on the tones, and then this is like a step up, and that is like the deeper one. So it is quite different. Quite different. This is more bronzy, of course. Lots of warmer tones over here. That's also warm, but still on a warm neutral side. So that's about it for those. And then I also wanted to compare it to an older palette that I have, which is called the Natasha Denona Sunrise and the Sunset palette. So the Sunrise palette I have is also a new one because, oh my goodness, this has been long discontinued. And then the older palette that I have, I decluttered already. But I think I have a photo of my old one. Maybe if I find it, I will put it here on the screen, but that's a new one. Finally opened it. And then this is the Sunset palette, and it is just so weird because I lost a shade over here, and that is called the Panjin, which is, I think it's a deeper of this, something like all of these three mixed, a deeper color. Alright, so if we compare it with these, supposed to be also warmer palettes, it's also very different tones, because that is like inspired by the sunrise. Indeed, I forgot. So sunrise palette and then the sunset palette. So we have more orangey tones in here. We even have some reds, and then same goes as to the sunset palette. So very different. Last two palettes that you might be interested of seeing the color story right next to the bronze palette will be this two, My Dream palette and then the Yucca palette. So My dream palette is your dark friend. And then the 𝐻𝒾𝑔𝒽 palette is your really nice grungy friend right here. You know what? In the beginning, I am not really sold on this 𝐻𝒾𝑔𝒽 palette, even though we always hear people saying that this is their favorite palette and they love this color story. I never appreciated it until I get to use it. And then me having an olive undertone, it looks so beautiful. Looks so beautiful on me. These tones are just amazing. And I can create a lot of looks, both creative and just wearable looks with just this palette. This one, however, is one of the palettes that I have a currently open one, and it is on my everyday bag actually, because I recently used it for an event and I wasn't able to bring it out, but yeah, I misplaced it. But yes, this one is a new one, and yeah, this black forest or blackest black keeps on breaking on my regular palette, and then since this is a magnetic, that shade is also magnetic. It just like goes to the parts where it has a magnet and it's like accumulating in there. Oh my goodness, did you see what I did in there? Oh my goodness, my nail got caught on that one. Oh, it's okay, it's my palette anyway, and I'm gonna use that, so that's all right. Some disasters. But yes, so very different color story as you see. But if you just wanted to see how it looks and then how it compares, then we cannot compare it. But some could be comparable to this one instead, right here with the Natasha Denona My Dream palette, because this tones could be similar, but of course that is way lighter and that it has more of like a red tone, pink tone. And yeah, these two, that is more red than this one. And that one and this one, this is deeper. Yes, and we don't have a black here. Those are the two deeper colors, probably that one, depending on like how we put it on the eyes. And yeah, quite different. The shimmers, probably maybe, it's also different. Also different shimmers. So yeah, maybe these two are close, but that's about it. Those could be close, but yeah, still different in tones. So there you go, and then let's move on to the next palette. So now let's do comparisons with the golden palette. And the first one that comes in mind, of course, will be the Natasha Denona Gold palette, wherein several of the shades from this palette is repeated on the new golden palette. So let's see here which ones were those again. As you see, my gold palette is new, and yes, as I mentioned, I buy backups before. Some of my backups, I didn't buy them at the same time. But yeah, especially the gold palette and the Metropolis palette, those that I have a backup. But I was brave enough to already let go of my gold palette even before I knew that a golden palette would be released. So that's a fresh palette, which I am going to be digging in very soon. All right, and it's just, I don't know, it seems to me that it's different. We do not have this shades anymore over here. We're missing that Python and Aurora. Which one? Oro right here, and this one was supposed to be the same. And then what else? Let's see here. Is that only one? Maybe no. Sparks is different from this Aura. I feel like that Sparks is going to be more sparkly and then it's more chunky than this one right here. So yeah, let's see. Teak is here in the middle. So seems like the middle row has the two repeat shades. Only those and without the panel. Probably missing something. My eyes is not the best. Aurum. There we go. So right there and this one. Really, they do not really look the same. This too. Oh my goodness. Well, anyways, I'm happy that I have both palettes. So that is the gold palette. And I feel like maybe I should grab the bronze palette once again. I don't know, just for comparison, just in case you wanted to see the difference. So it will be like this. Yeah, very different shimmers for the bronze and the golden palette, so we could not compare that. But my gosh, the gold palette is just so beautiful, and I swear to you, it's so new, even with the box right here. So that, what else can we compare with this palette? Maybe the My Dream palette. Maybe somebody wanted to see that close to each other, so that is how it looks. And well, we cannot compare the other deeper shades, but mostly if you wanted to know if the Flesh and the Unity, how they compare, this still leans more of like a red undertone, so it's like leaning more of like a peachy pink, and this is more neutral or natural color. And then yeah, I think basically just that. Maybe Nurture and Sandstone, more brown in there, more grayish undertone for the Nurture over there. Shimmers, Thrill and Kava, nope, I don't think so. They do not look similar. Oro and Invention is different. This is more orange leaning, so two different palettes. And then if you wanted to own both, then I think that you will have different looks, or you can achieve different looks. Probably like this part could be similar to some of these, but yeah, it's okay to have two, or just choose one that you prefer the most. I haven't tried this one. We are just like basing it mostly off the color story. I haven't even swatched it, so yeah, just by looking at it on the palette. Lastly, we're going to talk about the Roxa palette. And lastly, we are going to do some comparisons with the Roxa palette and the other Natasha Denona palettes. And the first ones that come in my mind, and probably in your minds, are these two. The Lila palette and the 𝒮𝑒𝑒 palette. Goodness, they are so beautiful. You know what? I feel like the Roxa palette packaging is actually inspired of the Lila at the back and then 𝒮𝑒𝑒 in the front. But these are both matte, but then they put like a little bit of this right there. So there you go once again. And then we are going to open the Lila palette. This is my second one, but I have used this already. I love this palette. I am not crazy fan of purples or deep blues, but there's just something about the rest of the colors on this palette that works for me so well. And since this is one of my oldest palettes, and then this is the one that I really played with quite often. Yeah, this is so different. Oh my gosh, like this shade, what is this even called? Dragon Bite Duochrome. I swear to you, this one, it's just so beautiful. The camera doesn't do it justice, but I love that one. Yeah, it's my favorite from this palette. And then, of course, we have the 𝒮𝑒𝑒 palette over here, which has the most terrific matte shades and very few duochrome or 𝒮𝑒𝑒 colors, and it's just in the middle. But I hope that Natasha Denona will come up with another palette. She can even call it a multi-chrome palette, and it's just all multi-chromes. It will be very expensive for sure, but Natasha Denona, if you want to, you can do it. You can do everything you want and make us happy. Yes, go. All right, so that, and then let's see here. Okay, tungsten and orchid. Well, that's lighter, that's darker. This palette don't even have this gray tones, and then this browns. Oh, let's see. You know what? I should be swatching them. Well, I promise you the next time that we're going to do these, we're going to do swatches. But right now, I just do not have the heart to swatch them yet. But I feel like each and every palette deserves their own video. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do another comparison together with the swatches also. Right now, it's just like the color story. These two are like similar in the color and the pack. However, this is like, if I'm not mistaken, it's a creamy matte. And that is a metallic over there. Okay, so that is lighter, that is deeper, and then we don't have anything else. Here, manganese or echidna, this is more purplish, and this is more a little bit of like a, how do I say, very light. Cannot even, it's not even purple to me. And then, yeah, it's just this two, I think, that could be compared. And then we do not have, of course, any of the yellows or the greens and the neons. Nope, we don't have that there. That one, Naga and Sweet Pea, no, different. That is way lighter, and that is, yeah, nope. Different tones. Shimmers are incomparable, no. Yeah, even the shimmers on the Lila are so different from this one. The shimmers are way too light. This Brink, what is the formulation of this one? So Brink is SF, and SF is one of Natasha Denona's new formulation. And let me just go quickly to her website. SF means sparkling foiled. Okay, so yeah, different. So that's for those two palettes that we are comparing it with. If you have these two and then you wanted to add the Roxa, I think you can do that if you are a collector. But if you have the budget and then you wanted to make sure that you don't have so much duplicates and you are not so into this color story, then it's up to you. Of course, you can make an informed decision. I'm just here to help and show you the difference with the other older Natasha Denona palettes that you probably already have on your collection. So that, and then I feel like I wanted to compare it also with the Love palette because we have some purples here. And then, yes, we do have some purples. Love palette, one of my oldest palettes. At one point, I even have 3 of these. One, just a Love palette, and then that was long decluttered. This is already a new palette because I decluttered a lot in 2023, and then I only was touching the ones that are already opened, and then the backups are just newly opened. I just even opened them for this video to compare. And then there's another one that I created with different other shades from other palettes for my mom before I decluttered the other ones. So I created one palette for her, and then this is the palette that I chose so that you can easily see it. It's pink. And then we go back to comparison. Dream and Jacaranda or Jacaranda could be similar. What are your Jacaranda? That's a creamy matte for sure. Jacaranda is a creamy matte, yes. So both are creamy mattes. I think they look similar on the pan. This could be having like more red, like a. It's still a violet, but the violet or the red is a little stronger than this one, and this part is the blue is the one that's more stronger. You know what I mean? Because we create violets by mixing blue and red, so that's what I mean. So then here, nope, we don't have those pinks, of course. Trust and Orchid, not the same either. As I mentioned, this is more of like a red undertone, and that is just lighter, but yeah, maybe the blue is stronger on this one, just solely compared to this orchid shade over here. Ceres and the Heartbeat is two different. That is more of like a warmer red. This is still reddish in the undertone, but a little bit lighter than that one. That's about it. Shimmers, transparent versus regal. More of a champagne for this one. This is a little bit, tiny bit rosy. Lifetime and 𝒮𝓊 is like, oh, it's like so many several colors in there. We have like some champagne, rose gold, and then silver. It's just like mixed on this one shade all together. What is the formula of that one? KS. And KS is Crystal Sparkling. Yeah, one of the new shades. Same as this one, Bates. Oh no, this is it. The Sparkling Foiled Formula. Is there any other KS here? I think it is just that one. Well, I'm looking at the website and I only saw that this is the only KS on that palette. So that's how this compare. They actually could complement each other. You have a deeper color here. We have this one, but they will give you two different effects. Yeah, I think good to complement each other. If you still have this palette, or if you are considering on grabbing this palette on the second-hand market, because of course I'm sure that some people are like me, they bought backups and they wanted to probably give up that backup or whatnot, or they bought a little too much on a sale, then yeah, if you wanted to take chances and grab those, then you see how it is and that they could complement each other. Let me see if there's anything else I could compare it with. I think I do have the, yeah, Circle Loco and another bigger palette. So this is the Circle Loco palette over here. Judging by that it's still in the box, I probably haven't used this one. Let's see. Yes, I did have a backup of this palette at some point. Nope, I haven't used it, of course. What are we going to compare this with? These are more blue here. There is really nothing else. But if you wanted to see, then that is how it is. We have a much more like a red violet razzle dazzle right there, but nope, there's just nothing similar. So if you wanted to grab this palette and then make a look on both of them, then yeah, probably you can do that, because this holds a much more lighter mattes and this only have colorful mattes on it. So one of the Natasha Denona's first ever palette will be this one, and this you can only compare it at least for that side, because let's see, yeah, we do not have all those other tones in there. But then on this side perhaps could be compared. Nope, we do not have this two beautiful mattes. We have a deeper one for the 𝐻𝒾𝑔𝑽 over there. We don't have the Sweet Pea and Velour. And the shimmers, wow, seriously. You know what? I even just recently used this palette and I can tell you that the quality is still there. I am very careful with my palettes. I have a nursing background. I could almost autoclave my palettes. So all of my palettes really do look pristine because I clean them. There's even times that when they get so dirty, I pop all of the all of them one by one, and I even labeled all of them underneath with their names and then with their formulation. And then I clean the entire palette. Just clean it over the sink, and yeah, that's how I do it. I love, love, love it when the palettes are so clean. And then anything else that we can compare it with? Nope, we don't have those two. A silver, Stargirl. But with this silver, I don't think so. This is like more chunky glitter than that one. Stargirl is now that's the SF formulation, sparkling foil, Eclipse, and this shade right here. What is that even called? So nah, they are not the same. This is like a very deep maroon, and that is a true brown, like a dark sepia over there. Yeah, this is called aubergine. So nope, that is not the same. That's about it. That's about it. There's nothing much to compare here. But just so you know, my ultimate favorite color would be this one right here, and it's called Golden Rose. And it looks like this one, just like so perfect on my olive skin. Very pretty, peachy duochrome. And they have one of these similar tone. If I'm not mistaken, was it on the bronze palette? Oh yes, it is on the bronze palette, and it's this Bliss one. So I have another palette that is a mix mismatch with so many other palettes or other shades in there. And yeah, I have one more of these, and I was like wishing that Natasha Denona brings this back on one of her palettes, or just like release a single of that. But yeah, look at that. My God, how is it possible that this golden rose sparkle even more than this one? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the formulation of my bronze palette is getting older. Not sure, but yeah, that is so pretty. My God, seriously, this palette that I have, I'm not sure if this was the one of those first batches of better formula, or was it the second batch that has a better formula? I forgot, but I did not really buy it when she released it. It was like years after Natasha Denona is popular, is when I joined the bandwagon. But yeah, love it, love it, love it. And this matte still performs so well. These tones are so beautiful. Like every time I see it, even though like I mentioned, right, I'm not really drawn to purples, but every time I see this one, I feel like I wanted to dig in and play with it. And then yeah, can create really good looks. I love these tones. I love these tones. That's why I love the pastel palette, because I like those tones. Even the tropic palette, I like it. I hope that Natasha Denona will come up with another similar to a Tropic palette, you can rename it something else, like a summery palette with lots of colors, but not the 𝒮𝓾𝓆𝑒 type. Something much more fun and lighter, but her current formulation, then that will be very exciting. So that's about it. If you have any thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below. I hope that this video is helpful. It could be very long because I love to talk about Natasha Denona, and well, I barely do that here on my channel. I did a little bit of some swatching on my TikTok, and that will be Elizabeth of Sweden, so go ahead and check it out. And yes, I would love to see you in my next video, so please subscribe, because I am going to share a lot more videos from now on. 2025, I am going to be filming again. See ya!